In the Gray is the newest Guy Ritchie movie. I'm viewing a bit late. I just did not get to it until today, but I watched it a couple days ago. This is the newest Guy Ritchie movie starring Henry Cavill, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Isa Gonzalez, and it is about this lawyer played by Isa Gonzalez who when things need to get a little dirty, she will go in the gray, so to speak, and do some not so legal things. And when it gets too out of hand, she will call like two friends of hers who like do work for her, played by Henry and Jake. And it's about this character played by Rosamund Pike, and she gets money stolen, so Isa has to get the money back. And it was fine. It wasn't my favorite Guy Ritchie movie. It's not my least favorite of his. Guy Ritchie, that's just isn't a director who I really like his style, and I had only seen a couple of his movies before this year. I had seen the Sherlock Holmes movies, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and then I think there might have been one other, but I hadn't seen that much. And then I saw Young Sherlock, and I was like, with all these different things, like I really like his directing and his style and everything. I want to watch through all his movies. So I have not fully finished them yet. And I will be finishing them before his next movie, which is later this year. So I'm going to wait till then, and then I'll do a ranking of all the Guy Ritchie movies. But I like most of them, and then there are ones that aren't my favorite. And I think that he's got more, not misses, but he's got more ones that I think are a little bit like lower than others. And I was kind of hoping that most of them would be great, and some of them would probably be a little bit like iffy. But I think he's a really good director, and he's probably one of my favorites, just like his style and everything. It's just that like some of the movies he's done aren't my favorite, but that's because they're not my type of movies. But this one seemed like it would be a little bit up my alley, more so than like some of the other ones. And I was really looking forward to it. And it is a good movie. I'm not going to say it's a bad one, because it's not. But I was a little bit disappointed by it. It was a little bit worse than I was expecting. That being said, it's still a good one. It's an hour and 30 minutes long, like around that. So it's not like overly long. It's not short. There are times where it's like, I wish it was a little bit longer. And then there are times where it's like, okay, this is a perfect length. I think that Guy Ritchie's style works for it. I think that Isa Gonzalez is really good. Henry Cavill is really good, as it usually is. Action is really fun when you get it. It doesn't have a bunch of action. It more builds to it at the end. And I thought that the humor was pretty good. There was just things about the story that weren't exactly my favorite. Like, I don't know any specifics, but there were just like some things here and there that I'm like, oh, it's not working for me as much as his other movies. Jake Gyllenhaal is an actor that I'm not a big fan of. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not. I have seen very few things with him. My favorite thing he's done is Mysterio, and that's mostly because that's a Marvel project. But I'm not a big fan of his acting, really. So when I first saw the trailer and I saw him in it, I was like, oh, he's definitely going to drag the movie down a bit. And he did. Now, he had some moments where I was like laughing, like he had some funny moments, and then he had some other moments where I was like, this isn't too bad. But all in all, it's still the same thing where it's just like a bunch of people are like, Jake Gyllenhaal's like a really good actor and everything, and I'm just over here like, not really. He has his moments, but all in all, his acting isn't very good. And that's what I thought of him in this one. Henry Cavill was great, as he usually is, and Isa Gonzalez isn't an actress that I've seen a lot, but I do think that she's a pretty good one. She's in Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. She's in this. She was in Mike and Nick and Alice from earlier this year, which is better than this movie. And I think there might have been one or two other movies that I've seen her in that I can't remember. But, and then there's like Rosamund Pike in here, who I'm not a really big fan of her acting it either. Like the movies she's in are good. Like she's in Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which I'm not a big fan of her in that movie, but the movie's really good. She's in Jack Reacher, which she's not bad in that one, but she's not the greatest. But that movie is really good. Not better than the show, but it's a good movie in and of itself. I should probably watch through the Reachers. Anyway, this movie though, it just, I don't know exactly what it was. I don't know if I was expecting it to be a little bit more action packed, and it wasn't. I don't know if it's just the story didn't really work for me as well as other stories. It probably isn't like Jake Gyllenhaal, because like even if he's not great, like Henry Cavill is enough to carry the movie. But even though I think I gave it a 3.5, possibly a 3. It's around there, but it's like, so it's not a bad movie by any means. But there was just like things here and there about it that I was just like, you're not as good as I wished or thought you would be. And that drug it down for me a little bit. So I don't really think I have anything else to really say. I mean, the villains were fine. Like, none of them stuck out. Like, there was a couple, like, villains, but none of them really stuck out. Out of the main characters, I've already talked about those. The action was fun, even though there wasn't much of it. I think that Guy Ritchie style does work pretty good, where, like, Isaac Gonzalez is, like, saying what's going to happen for the heist, and then while she's doing that, it shows Henry and Jake, like, doing the heist stuff. I like that. And that probably elevates it a little bit as well, as just, like, I do like heist things. I mean, not all heist movies are my favorite, but if you involve a heist, you're gonna win me over just a bit more, because I do like heists. That being said, that's probably all I have to say about it. Tell me what you thought in the comments. Obviously, we've got Memorial Day weekend coming up, where Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be releasing, so I will have a review for that, and like 2 or 3 videos going along with Mandalorian and Grogu, but I don't know when, because I am going to be up north for Memorial Day. And then today, Wednesday, also the day that I'm getting this out, hopefully, I'm watching Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. So I should have a review for that, hopefully tomorrow, if not Friday. I will try and film it either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, but I'll get a review for that, and then I will have a ranking of the movies and the seasons of the show. And then there might be one other video I do with Jack Ryan, but that's kind of what's coming up in the next little bit. If you watched it in the gray, tell me what you thought about it. Tell me if you were higher on it or lower than it on me. This is one that I don't really like have big thoughts on it. Like, if you are higher on it than me, I understand. If you're lower on it than me, I understand. But like other movies, like I'll be like, oh, I don't get it, why you're lower than me, and then like this one just isn't that. But tell me what you thought about it. I would like to know, and stay tuned for whatever is next. And yeah, see you in the next one.